Assume that you are recording. Okay, perfect. Okay, hi, good afternoon. Would it be TPSO, MOC? My name is Moses. I am your account manager for the Euromonitor International, and I'm located in the Singapore office. Uh, so maybe just if you were wondering how it looks like, maybe you can see the Singapore office. Okay, in any case, today's training will be on, of course, Passport. I think there are also new users, so I will go slowly and I will take everyone through Passport, what are its users, and of course, how we can navigate Passport. On top of that, I believe I believe some of the users who are using Passport, you should be aware that there's actually Passport AI. Okay, so we do have a Passport AI function, which I will also do a quick demo on that. Because Passport AI, I'm not too sure if everyone knows, you can actually type in Thai, and it will actually respond in Thai, actually. Thai, Japanese, Mandarin Chinese, it is possible. So I will just do a quick demo on that. Okay. So I will start off with an introduction to the company. Of course, for latency purposes, I'm going to turn off my camera. Then we will have less latency. So first part will be a quick introduction to the company, as always. Second part will be Passport itself. Okay. Okay, so let me get okay. Ms. Pla, are you able to see the presentation? Orange presentation?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. This is the case. Okay. Now I'm on the second slide. Okay. So a very quick introduction to Euromonitor International. We are a 52-year-old market research company. So the company actually started in the 1970s by our two founding members of the company. They are the owners of Euromonitor International. Okay, but from that, of course, the company has grown. So what we do is we help our clients make informed decisions. Of course, we have subscription services and we do a lot of custom research. And of course, moving on, we have around over 1,000 plus on the ground researchers in 100 countries. So of course, we do have a very good view of the global marketplace, all right, of the industries and the research that we do. Of course, our expertise, which is on the right side, it's not just those few points. Of course, we do a lot more, but broadly, our expertise are in consumer trends and lifestyles, economies and forecasting, and of course, product categories and distribution channels, and et cetera, right? So what are our solutions? Okay, our three solutions are mainly Passport, VIA, and consulting. Of course, we do have more products and solutions, but you can just group them into all three over here. Passport is the platform with which TPSO subscribes to. All right. So I will just talk a little bit about VIA and consulting. But before I get to that, this is how it looks like on the global map. Okay, we have 16 offices around the world. So as you can see, we actually do cover a lot of the globe, right? So we have a lot of information on demographic, macro, and socioeconomic data on consumers and economies in 210 countries. in territories. And of course, our 100 countries that we have our researchers on the ground. And of course, the industries that we do or that we cover, some of it you can see over here. There's actually a little bit more, but this you get a very good general sense of what we do, from appliances and electronics to drinks to our services, which is consumer finance, consumer food service, and to B2B, and of course economies and channels and so on and so forth. TPSO, for the most part, subscribes to most of these industries that you see. So your coverage is very well-rounded and robust. Okay, so what is Passport? I'm not really going to talk about this because this will be the product or the platform with which I will be giving the training session on. Consulting is very, very simple. Consulting is, they can be one-off projects, they can be renewal projects. So consulting comes in where Passport and VIA cannot quite answer. Okay, so for example, I think actually the Thai government is actually looking at trying to expand halal, right? So actually one of our customers in the Philippines, they are also it's a government entity in the Philippines. Actually, the Philippines is also trying to expand their halal coverage because there's a big industry in halal. So they're trying to expand the industry, as in from tourism to having their local SMEs produce halal food and exporting. So this is where consulting comes in, right? Consulting can answer a lot of questions like where should the country be exporting halal food to, right? Apart from the very common countries in Southeast Asia, this all can be done in consulting, all right? And of course, there's VIA. VIA is another platform that we have. So VIA is a platform that houses information on millions and millions of SKU numbers. Okay, so if you have a can of Coca-Cola, a 6-pack of Singha, a bag of chips, they all have a SKU number, right? So this is what VIA does. We scrape data, online data, right, of 1,500 online retailers in 41 countries. And this data is actually updated daily, weekly, and monthly. So when you have all these SKU numbers, our clients can actually they can actually use it to do either product category mapping, brand matching. They can actually also plan out new product launches and see which products are actually on sale online in which of the 41 countries and which retailer. All right, so this is what VIA does. And I think the unique thing about VIA is that you can actually search for the products by attributes. So meaning plastic free, no sugar, low sugar, non-alcohol. You have all these attributes in VIA and you can sort them out that way also. So that is VIA. Corporate responsibility, I think every company, we do our part for society. Of course, over in EMI, we also do this also, where we spend 1% of our turnover on charitable projects chosen by our staff. Okay, so with that, I will stop sharing and I will go into Passport. Just give me 1 second. Yes. Okay, share my screen. Okay, let me know when you can see passport. I think you can, right? Yes? Good?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. Okay, so what is Passport? Passport is the platform which houses all the information and data that we do our research on one single platform. Okay, what you are looking at is your subscription page, because I have the ability to look at all the accounts that I take care of, and there's quite a few accounts that I take care of in this region, because I cover both academics and government entities. All right. So this is the main landing page of Passport. If you're a new user, this is where you want to go. Okay, I will run you through on, if you are a new user, this is what you can do. You want to click on the Help Center at the top right-hand corner. All right, this is where I will start my my Passport demo. Okay, if you click on the Help Center over here, it will take you, another browser will open, and this will take you to the Passport Help Center. Okay, so of course, what one can do is you can actually type in a query. Okay, so for example, if it's talking about beer, I believe that beer might work. There you go. Okay, so you will have anything that's what is the product type definition, as even stuff on the packaging and whatnot. Okay, but if you're not too sure, all right, of what you are, I mean, if you're looking for, like, let's say a glossary of term and everything, this is where I'll start. Okay, and I'll run everyone through. First of all, we have the glossary of terms. Okay, a glossary of terms contains an explanation of all our terms. It is arranged alphabetically, apart from year-on-year rates. Okay, so of course, we will start with absolute growth. What does Euromonitor or EMI mean in absolute growth? All right, so we explain that for absolute growth, it means it's the total growth expressed in actual value, example, US millions, or volume, million liters, rather than in percentage terms, right? So this is our explanation or our definition of absolute growth. So of course, the list is very extensive, and this just goes on and on, all in alphabetical order, all the way down, A down to Z, okay, year-on-year growth. So if you are not familiar with a certain term, for example, constant prices. Yeah. Sometimes we do get questions on that. Or another one that's very common will be off-trade and non-trade. This comes up quite a bit also. Here is the explanation of off-trade. Off-trade simply means sales through retail outlets, all right? Typically used in reference to sales of drinks. And on-trade means sales through bars, restaurants, cafes, etc. Right? This term comes up quite a bit. We often get questions on that. So that's the glossary of terms. All right. Moving on, we have definitions. What is our definition of something? For example, beer. Yes. Once again, it is arranged alphabetically, both in the category definition of alcoholic drinks, but also in the industry that is on the left over here. So let me run through the category definitions first. Of course, because this is the categories or the industries are covered in alphabetical order, right? Alcoholic drinks will come first. Therefore, you will always be saying alcoholic drinks first. And under alcoholic drinks, okay, what do we mean? What is our definition of beer? Our definition of beer is an alcoholic drink usually brewed from malt, sugar, hops, and water, and fermented with yeast, right? So it goes on further to explain that some beers are made by fermenting a cereal, especially barley, and therefore not flavored by hops. Alcohol content for beer is varied, anything up to over 14% ABV, alcohol by volume, although 3.5 to 5% is most common. So beer is aggregation of lager, dark beer, stout, non-low alcohol beer. If you didn't know what lager is, it explains lager. And we also actually have standard lager. We also have premium lager. We also have domestic premium lager. All this is explained, okay? So if you're not familiar with a certain term, this is where you come to look, and it will fall under the industries. So for example, let's say you're looking at something under beauty and personal care. I will take us to that. And once again, under beauty and personal care, A to Z, these are all the terms, okay? The list is, of course, very, very long. I won't take you through it, but you get the idea. So all the industries are arranged on the left, all right? Alcoholic drinks, all the way down to travel, okay? So we've also done a compilation of frequently asked questions, right? Again, all right? You can find the industries on the left, A to Z, and maybe I'll take us to travel. All right. So what are the most common questions that our users and our customers ask? It could be found over here, the most common ones. As you can see, travel is a very big industry that we cover. So of course, there are a lot of questions. And if you have a certain question, yeah, sometimes you might be able to find the answer, right? What's included in travel sales is explained over here. Why is there not a separate breakdown of intermediaries sales by tour operators versus travel agents? We explain. All right. So there's that. And of course, our methodologies is explained over here. And of course, if you have a more specific question on our methodologies, of course, please reach out to me. And the all-important update schedule. This is quite important because if you are doing looking up on info and research, let me try to pick up something that's good over here. I need to find that. Okay, cannabis is not very good because TPSO does not subscribe to cannabis. There you go. So for example, under payments and lending, okay? Now, it says over here November 2025, right? This update, the update schedule over here shows all the industries and when it will be updated. A major update. Okay, a major update will not just be about the data, but they're putting in all sorts of other information also, actually. Okay, so if you were to, let's say right now, yeah, we're at on the 25th of November, all right? Usually, this is where the updates will be done at the end of the month. So, for example, maybe you've pulled some data, maybe today on the 25th of November, and maybe December 1st or December 2nd, you pull the data and possibly the data could be different because our forecasted data is actually updated every quarter. Okay, what that is, I'll be able to show when we jump into Passport into the data itself. Okay, so do bear that in mind. the update scheduler is here for you to be able to, for full visibility and for you to know when the very big update will be. All right. And of course, if you are not familiar with Passport and you need help, we have the help guide and videos. So for example, let's say you want to learn a little bit more about the dashboards. We have short videos to help you with it. Working with statistics. There you go. All right. And of course, working with the group sum function. All these videos are in here to help you get started. But I'll have to say Passport is actually quite easy to maneuver your way around as long as you know like how to do it. And usually keywords are the best way. Okay, so do remember that you have the help center, and from there, click on the help guide and videos. And that's where you'll be able to find short videos, okay, on Passport itself. Right. Now, back to the main landing page. So this is the main landing page of Passport, okay? The UI has been changing. It's constantly changing. I think Miss Pla, because you have been my point of contact and maybe KP's point of contact for quite a long time. I'm pretty sure you've seen the changes, the UI changing, this interface changing from a few years ago to now. And I think next year, this interface will yet change again. It's constantly changing because we are getting feedback from customers and internal teams on how we can actually make the interface, the platform, more user-friendly or better or whatever it is. Okay. So this is the most current UI Passport. Of course, this is the main landing page. The main landing page, of course, will have the latest reports, so you can see. And how do we go about doing the search? Or before I get to that, I will talk about what are the industries, right, that TPSO actually covers. There are a few ways that you can go about maneuvering your way around. You can, of course, look at the full tree, which I will in a second. But if you click under industries, this is where you will have all the categorizations that will appear. So for example, all right, in TPSO's subscription, all right, under appliances and electronics, you have consumer appliances, consumer electronics, toys and games. Under drinks, you have alcoholic drinks, hot drinks, and soft drinks. And of course, under food and nutrition, you have cooking ingredients and meals, dairy products and alternatives, fresh food, health and wellness. You do not have nutrition. If you see that it's a little dark, it means you're just not subscribed to it. And of course, you have snacks and staple foods. Under health and beauty, of course, you have BPC, or beauty and personal care, consumer health, eyewear, tissue and hygiene. And home products, you have home and garden, home care, pet care, luxury and fashion, apparel and footwear, luxury goods, personal accessories, nicotine and cannabis. Currently, TPSO only subscribes to tobacco, but yes, we actually do also cover cannabis. And I think cannabis is something that in Thailand that is quite common already, but it's a bit of a touchy subject because the government is trying to reverse its decision on cannabis. But yes, we do cover cannabis also. Okay, and of course under services, you have consumer food service, payments and lending, and of course travel. And under B2B, you have ingredients and you have packaging. All right. Channels. I believe channels you have retail or retailing. All right. Companies, this will take you to the company page, which I won't really quite cover. You can find information on the biggest companies that we cover by market share. This you can find it under companies. All right. And of course, under consumers, you have households, income and expenditure, lifestyles, and population. And under economies, I believe you have access to business dynamics, economy, finance, and trade. Okay, so this is all inclusive of TPSO's subscription. Now, how do we do our searches? The best way and quickest way to do a search is really to type in a keyword. Okay, as you know, Passport right now has Passport AI. So of course, I had simply just click on the taskbar at the top. Here are just some of the prompts to help you start exploring. If I were to click on it, of course, Passport AI will be activated, but I don't want to do that. Okay, so how do we go about doing our searches? A keyword is really the best. And of course, let's say I'm trying to do coffee in Thailand. Okay, simply type in coffee, Thailand, and there you go. All right. So of course, Passport is divided into three parts. There's your stats, you have your country reports or your analysis. For example, the country report, right? About will be coffee in Thailand, and of course, we also have the dashboards. So let me take everyone through that. So, like I said, keyword is the best, and this is how you'll be able to do a search as efficiently and as quickly as possible. Of course, the system, because everyone in the subscription has an account, correct? You log in, you have your own kind of like your own account, and then you have your own password. Therefore, the system will also remember all your searches, right? So that makes it also very more efficient. But in this case, all right, let me take you guys to maybe I'll go to dashboards because dashboards will actually link us to stats. So Passport is divided into three parts. All right, stats, analysis, and dashboards. Now, for dashboards, I'm looking at the hot drinks dashboard right now. By default, okay, you'll be looking at the market size. This is just a very quick and easy way to look at the hot drinks market size. Right. So for Thailand over here, there you go. That's Malaysia. Thailand. There you go. All right. So if you hover your mouse over, you'll be able to see the market size. Of course, one can also look at the company shares of the biggest companies, and you can actually look at the company share. You can also, I believe, you can also look at the company sales in all the different countries, and also how much points is changed. All right, the percentage points. But let me get back to the category view. All right, and of course, if you want to look at country in detail, we can also change the country. For example, we change the geography. I don't want the US, I want to look at Thailand. So there you go, right? You can explore in detail about hot drinks in Thailand. Okay, so this just gives you a very quick statistic, okay, of hot drinks in Thailand. Or how does Thailand compare versus Asia Pacific versus the world? All right, and it has all the top three companies, all right, like retail value, all right, the breakdown, and of course, market share. If, all right, I were to click on this part over here, it will actually bring me out to statistics. So I was over here, just click on that, and it'll take us to statistics. Okay, but I believe you can also look at per capita, and also you can look at forecast growth. So there's quite a bit. If we look at the company view, like I said, by default, it is Nestle, but you can also change the company. So we track the biggest players. So let's say Lavazza, it's an Italian company. They do have pretty good coffee. We also track. Okay, and then wherever the countries that we do our research on. So this is dashboard. All right. And for every industry that we cover, you have a dashboard. So for example, I'm just going to do a dashboard and I'm just going to do a search. Okay. So there you go. These are all the dashboards that's available to the users, and it is all every industry, right? That's in your subscription. You have it over here. Okay. Of course, we also have the forecast dashboards also, and so it is all covered in here. So that's dashboards. Let me take us to stats. So to segue into statistics, okay, right now we are looking at hot drinks, right, for Thailand. Under the stats view, okay, by default, the default years, right, for this will be 2020 to 2025. But of course, we are not limited to that. It is mostly from 2010 or 2011. Sometimes it can be 2009, right? That the years will run back, and you can adjust to. Right now, we were able to see forecasted numbers of 2030 already for hot drinks in Thailand. Of course, under hot drinks, you have the breakdown of coffee, tea, and other hot drinks. So let me just hit apply first. And there you go. So now we have the breakdown from 2011 all the way to 2030. So like I said earlier, that our forecasted numbers are changed every quarter. So right now we are in 2025, right? We are in November. So come the end of December, all right, these numbers, they do get adjusted. So 2025, 2026, 27, all the way to 2030, because economic conditions change. So, all right, if there's a change, all right, these numbers that you see, they will all get adjusted. All right, the forecasted numbers, 2026, 27, 28, 29, 2030. Okay, so this of course is hot drinks, the category of hot drinks in Thailand. And of course under hot drinks there's coffee, tea, and other hot drinks. Now, if you needed to find the definition, okay, of coffee, in case you needed to look at, or actually under other hot drinks, what you can do is you can actually click on the exclamation mark. We don't need to get into the help center. Actually, all you need to do is click on the exclamation mark and it will show. It's a quick and easy way for you to find out what exactly the definition is, right? So other hot drinks is the aggregation of flavored powdered drinks and other plant-based powdered drinks. Products can be served hot or cold and can be mixed with water, milk, or other liquids. Bottled, ready-to-drink flavored milk drinks are not included here. So it is all explained. All right, in case you needed to find out what exactly the definition is. All right. Now, of course, the default data type will be a retail value, RSP. All right. And of course, the currency, which is in Thai baht. The currency is, of course, to the country that you've selected. So if we had selected Singapore, of course, it will be in Singapore dollars, and so on and so forth. All right. Of course, let's say you're doing a research, all right, on hot drinks in Thailand. What do we have to offer? What can we help? Is that, of course, there's also a lot more information. For example, we can also look at the company shares. So this, as you can see, will be the company shares, all right, of the company, and it shows, all right. How do you go about changing it? You just change the stats types, right? We can even look at brand shares. So of course, by default, market size is always the one that shows up. That's the default. There you go. And of course, all of this is downloadable. You can create a link, right? I think you can save it to your content, and you can download it in Excel, CSV, and even actually, I think in PowerPoint. But most people will just download it in Excel, all right? And of course, yeah, you can also save it to your content, and of course, you can print it out. Okay. So over here, we will have the brand shares, right? And of course, we can also look at retail channels of how hot drinks are distributed in Thailand. That's the breakdown also, right? As you can see, I guess retail e-commerce is kind of increasing also. And apart from that, we can also even look at ingredients. So this is all available to you, all right, of the ingredients that are used, in case you needed to know. So let me get back to the market size again, because there's a lot more to show to help you in your work in terms of research. Now, okay, we're back to market size. And of course, we actually have a lot more, whereby if you go to the icon over here that says convert data, okay, you can change the currencies actually to USD, there's a few, to Euro, GBP, Japanese yen. Not too sure what CHF is. Maybe it's the French currency. And of course, we can also change it to current and nominal value. You can do a unit multiplier. You can move growth. Okay. So for example, 2020 is good. Let me just adjust this 2030. Hit apply. And then I want to look at the growth. You can change it to year-on-year growth. There. So you'll be able to see the year-on-year growth. This is all available. Most users don't really know, all right? But it's there. Let me go back to no growth again. There you go. And what else do we have still? All right, we can also change by per capita household, all right? I'm not really a researcher, so not everything is familiar to me. But if you were a researcher and you know what you're doing, yeah, these things will be pretty familiar. And of course, unit price. And of course, you can also change the data type also. Because by default, there's retail value RSP, but you can also change it to retail value MSP, and so on and so forth. This is all available. All right, group sum we can do, but of course, we only have one category over here. But if you're not familiar with the group sum function, yeah, you can look at this short video to know what to do it. So this will be statistics, okay? Passport is quite powerful, I believe so, but the only thing about Passport is that it is the user themselves also, because they need to download the information and they need to massage the data. So not everyone is good at Excel, right? Me included. So I think that's the one part that that limits Passport, but it's not really the platform's fault, but it's more like the user. But there's really a lot of information on Passport to help you in to do your research. Okay. So this is stats. I've already showed stats. I already showed dashboards. All right. And of course, the last one will of course be your reports. This is the place where most users will be looking at. Okay. So I've actually showed, right, keyword in the search bar on top. Another way, which is what I like to use sometimes, okay, is the full category, or the full tree, the full text, the taxonomy. What you want to do is you want to just look for the blue box on the left. All right, just click on the industries and then you hit go. This will show all the industries arranged vertically with the breakdown. For example, consumer appliances, right? Under consumer appliances, we have 3 categories, which are major appliances, home HVAC, and also small appliances. As long as you see that there's a plus, it expands. So for example, major appliances, we have all of this, all right? Refrigeration appliances, microwaves, large cooking appliances, home laundry appliances, and dishwashers. This is what we over here, Euromonitor, categorize under major appliances, all right? If you didn't know the definition, of course, look for the exclamation mark again, click on it, it's gonna show the definition. You don't need to go back to the help center. It's all on the right side, okay? Click on it, it will show. All right, so of course, if you wanted to, if you found the right item or the right category too, simply you can click on right on the right side. You can select, or you can also deselect. Okay, so the full tree simply is all the industries arranged vertically, right? And of course, if we want to use a keyword again, it is probably the best. So, for example, I always use cheese. It's a good example. All right, just type in cheese and hit enter, and there you go. You'll be able to see anything that's got to do with cheese. Okay, maybe this doesn't look too. How about, let's say, coffee, for example. There you go. So under coffee, of course, you have hot drinks, you have the ready-to-drink coffees, right? And of course, you can look at exports of coffee, tea, mate, and spices, imports also, consumer expenditure on coffee, tea. This is all. So, like I said, I like to use the full taxonomy because all I need to do is I just put in a keyword and I click enter, and you'll be able to see, right? Even if I believe you'll be able to look at Gini index also. I think so. So for example, if you look at Gini index, yeah, Gini index of for the different countries, all right? So if they're satisfied with whatever they're looking for, then we can look at the different countries. We can look at Singapore, because I'm over here, because we have Thailand and maybe in Vietnam, and all these other countries that are below, and simply view the results. There you go. This will take us to the stats. I'm not too sure if there's any analysis because of the Gini index. All right, and of course, yeah. So that's the full tree. Okay, so basically it's all about using keywords. Keywords will help a lot in doing your work, getting to where you need to be. Okay, and so the last thing would be, of course, will be your country reports. Okay, of course, your country reports. How about, I don't know, seafood. Maybe let's try. Yeah. Okay, so seafood in Thailand. Okay, I just typed seafood Thailand. And so you can look at the stats, of course, right? I talked about passport being divided into three parts: stats, analysis, and dashboards, right? And of course, what I'm going to be showing is uh, seafood, all right? So of course, the country reports, all right? You can click on it, and this will take you to the reports themselves. This is the fish and seafood report of Thailand. So the reports, of course, will always starts off with the key data findings. What are the developments for last year, for 2024? All right. And there's just a lot of information over here, detailed information, right? Saying that like local shrimp ceased international competition due to shrimp disease. You didn't know that. I didn't really quite know. But of course, because we are a market research company, there will always be prospects and opportunities, right? What is the demand? What is driving fish and seafood in Thailand, right? And of course, we also talk about sustainability and traceability. This is all in here. You do have some data points, right? You can actually look at the data points itself also, but if you click on the data graphics, this will be all the data graphics that you want to see from KGAR, right? Year-on-year change on whatever. It is all in here. I believe this is downloadable. You can look at the context, international context of seafood, fish and seafood, right? Versus FMCG, fast-moving commodity goods. And of course, you can download, right, the report itself. Every report has an Excel file that comes along with it. Okay, simply click on it. You will get it. And of course, anything that's related to your search is also in here. Now, this report can be found online. We sell it. Okay, I don't think it's very, very cheap. Most reports go for $1,475 US. I mean, these are the usual price of the reports. A lot of our health and wellness BPC reports go for much higher. Of course, there are also reports on SWOT of Thailand, like the country report. Those are a little cheaper. So this is all available to you in your subscription. All right. So what I meant by the SWOT analysis, we can actually look at, I think it's your past analysis. Yeah. So we can look at the country reports over the past analysis of Thailand. You do have it also, actually. These reports are they're not so expensive, but it can be found online. But there's no need for you to purchase them because it is in your subscription. This talks about Thailand itself, right? From the political environment, what are its challenges, right? To the economic environment, yeah, to exports, social environment, everything that's got to do with Thailand. It is actually in here, all right? You can also look at all the statistical rates, right? Our GDP, real growth, lending rate, it is all in here. Life expectancy. I believe you click on it, it could take you to the stats. It could. No, right, there you go. Okay, so this is all in your subscription. Now, we are coming quite close to the hour mark. All right. So all in all, Passport, of course, is divided into statistics, analysis, and dashboards. Okay. On the very bottom over here are trending topics. You can also explore what are the latest trending topics. These are the latest trending topics you can see. And we can also browse by themes also. For example, Dr. Latha, she is our chief economist who's based in Dusseldorf, because this was just actually released just a few days ago. The Economic Outlook for 2026 Global Forecast and Insights. This is her opinion piece. And like I said, this is all in your subscription. All right. I think this will be an event actually. You can register. So, any questions for me so far? I think it's pretty straightforward. Passport is quite easy to use. You just have to use keywords. Unfortunately, it is not in Thai. If not, it will be even easier. Okay, I don't think there are any questions. So one last thing that I will show everyone is Passport, of course, has Passport AI. Okay, Passport AI is available not just in English. I'm not too sure if any one of you are aware of that. You can actually type in Thai also, and it will reply in Thai. So, for example, okay, let me look at the chat first. Okay, let me stop over here first and let me answer the questions. I do see one question. In the provided report analysis, can we change the currency that shows in the graph? Analysis, no, you cannot. But if you were to download the report, okay, and if you download the function that says that download Excel data, you can. I believe you can, because it will show. Okay, so back to Passport AI. All right. So when you click, here are some prompts that you can start. Popular prompts. Okay, I'm using coffee. So okay, so I don't speak Thai, so I need a bit of a translation help over here. So I'm just gonna copy. Okay, what are the latest trends in health and wellness in Thailand? Okay, I'm gonna copy this, and I'm going to paste it, and I'll hit enter. So Passport AI will do its thing. It will do a summary. And there you go. So this will be the summary in Thai. Okay, let me show you the whole thing. There. Of course, I don't know Thai. Well, I wouldn't understand, but I'm sure all of you guys will understand. And when you see the numbers, like 2, 4, this is where it takes, all right, the information from. This is where it gathers. So, for example, all right, consumer health in Thailand, if you click on it, it will take you to the report that where it took the information from. Of course, this report over here will be our normal, our reports that are all in English. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so it links. So please do bear that in mind. But yes, you can type in Thai, and it will at least in the summary it will show. All right, and of course, let me go back to all results, and you can see that you have Passport AI. It gives you the quick summary, statistics, analysis, and of course, once again, of course, you have your dashboards. Like I said, there are, especially the general dashboards, there are each industry has a dashboard. And of course, for example, home products. under Home and Garden, if we go to it, the Home and Garden landing page itself, of course, it is kind of modeled after the main landing page, but you're looking at the Home and Garden landing page, whereby you will have the latest reports. All right. Sometimes you can even find videos. You have consumer trends also. Okay. So yes, do use Passport AI. I will provide Ms. Pla with some very common passport prompts that users can use to help them in their searches. We actually have a bit of a small little compilation of prompts that you can use. Do remember that Passport AI is not Google, all right? All this information is taken from Passport itself. It's all proprietary information. So it is simply to help you in your search, all right? It makes it quicker. It does make it easier. So it's pretty helpful. And I mean, it is in Thai, so it makes it slightly easier also. All right. So I think this will be my training and presentation on Passport. Are there any questions that I can help everyone with? And of course, you can message me. I'm typing my I'm sure everyone, if you look at the chat, this will be my email address. Maybe you're too shy or you cannot come up with any questions right now. Not an issue. Simply copy and paste of my email address and you can email me if you have any questions.
ทุกท่านมีคำถามไหมคะถ้ามีสอบถามคุณโมเซ่ได้เลยนะคะหรือติดต่อโดยตรงนะคะคุณโมเซ่ t.euromonitor.com นะคะหรือว่าจะสอบถามมาที่ info.services@mpose.co.th ได้นะคะ
Right. So any questions, please just forward it to me. I'll try my best to answer them. If I cannot answer them, then usually if it's regards to data or whatever it is, I will forward it to the relevant people to get them answered and to best help all our users in TPSO.
มีคำถามไหมคะถ้าไม่มีเราจะได้จบการอบรมการใช้งานยูโรมอนิเตอร์
All right.
Yeah, good, Mose. I think we do have a question.
Yeah, it's okay. Usually there are no questions. Usually. But if you have, my email is there. Reach out, please. All right. So with that, I end this training. Like I said, Passport is really quite easy to use. Sometimes it can be a bit confusing for a new user. With Passport AI, I think it kind of helps you. It points you in the right direction quicker, actually.
Okay. If you have question, I will send you an email. Okay.
Sure. All right. So with that, thank you everyone for attending.
Okay. On behalf of everybody, I would like to thank you, Kun Mose, for giving this training session today, and thank you all users to join training as well. Okay.
Thank you so much. And please use Passport AI. It's good. It's helpful.